Boys and girls are in equal need of adoption from South Africa, so families must be open to parenting a child of either gender. Families adopting from South Africa must be open to parenting a child of any race, with the understanding that the vast majority of children in need of adoption are Black or biracial. This is a program which places children ages 1 to 9 years old at the time of referral who have special needs. While families do not need to be open to all of the following needs, the most common special needs include global developmental delay, prematurity, HIV or HIV exposure, hepatitis B, or syphilis.
South Africa welcomes a variety of different family compositions to adopt, including singles, married and unmarried couples, and LGBTQ+ families. For all international adoption processes into the U.S., at least one adoptive applicant or the sole applicant must hold U.S. citizenship. We ask that prospective adoptive parents over the age of 48 or those who have medical, mental health, and/or legal histories/diagnoses speak with a member of our team to ensure the specifics of your family's composition meet South Africa's eligibility requirements.
There will be a number of players who will support you in your adoption process. First and foremost, you will work with Spence-Chapin. Spence-Chapin has the longest history of any U.S. agency of facilitating adoptions from South Africa, and we will serve as your primary adoption service provider. Whether you live locally to Spence-Chapin or whether you live elsewhere across the country, as your primary adoption service provider, Spence-Chapin will oversee all aspects of your adoption case, support you in all filings with U.S. Immigration, and present you with a referral of a child.
Families living outside of Spence-Chapin's local New York, New Jersey service area will be working with an adoption agency in their home state for home study and post-placement services, with Spence-Chapin involved and communicating with you throughout every step of those processes.
Johannesburg Child Welfare, or JCW, is an accredited child welfare organization in South Africa. They have provided child welfare services for over 100 years, and Spence-Chapin has partnered with JCW since the inception of our adoption program. JCW operates multiple licensed children's homes, oversees each child's legal process, and determines which child to match with your family. JCW will also support you when your family travels to South Africa for your adoption.
There will be multiple phases throughout your adoption process where you will be interacting with U.S. Immigration, also known as USCIS. Once a family's home study is finalized, they will submit an application known as the I-800A, which will approve their family to be prospective adoptive parents to the country of South Africa based on the age range and characteristics of a child the family feels prepared and equipped to parent. Additionally, once your family has been matched and accepted referral of a child, you will submit another application to USCIS, known as the I-800, which will approve your family to be adoptive parents to the specific child that will be joining your family. Once your family's adoption has been finalized in South Africa and you return home to the U.S., USCIS is the entity that will be mailing your child's certificate of citizenship to your home.
Spence-Chapin requires that before any family applies to our South Africa program, you must attend our Introduction to South Africa Adoption webinar. You can attend that live or you can listen to the pre-recorded webinar. This ensures that families are applying to the program with full familiarity with the process and the characteristics of children placed. After completing that webinar, you are welcome to submit our free application.
Once you have submitted an application and should you be accepted into the program, you will then begin the home study process. The purpose of the home study process is to gain an understanding of the characteristics and age range of a child that you feel prepared and equipped to parent. The home study process will entail completing and submitting a variety of different documents, including but not limited to medical forms, financial forms, reference letters, clearances, and trainings, including Spence-Chapin's facilitated trainings. It will also include visits with a social worker, including a home visit to assess the safety requirements and regulations for your home state. Spence-Chapin and your local home study agency will support your family throughout this process to help you discern the characteristics of a child that you feel best equipped to parent.
After your home study is complete, Spence-Chapin will guide you in filing your I-800A application with United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, or USCIS. USCIS approval is necessary in all intercountry adoptions, regardless of what agency you are working with or what country you are adopting from. While you wait for your USCIS approval, we will guide you in completing your dossier. A dossier consists of a range of documentation about you, from criminal clearances to reference letters, medical reports, your approved home study, and more. Once your dossier is submitted, you are officially eligible to be referred a child.
Once you have submitted your dossier to South Africa, your family will officially be waiting for referral. Families can expect to wait approximately 24 months before being matched with a child. Wait times can fluctuate depending on a family's openness to specific ages and characteristics in a child match. The wait for referral time is a great time for families to further their education and training around transracial and transcultural adoptions, as well as identify resources in your local community that your child may be utilizing, such as schools, daycare centers, and specialists. Spence-Chapin's international team will be there to support you throughout your wait for referral time through check-in calls, support group calls, and to connect on documents that need to be updated throughout that waiting time, such as a family's home study and I-800A approval.
JCW will make a match between a child and your family based on what characteristics you have been approved for in your home study. Spence-Chapin will call your family with the news of the referral and will share with you all known medical history and social history on the child, including photos. You will have an opportunity to ask further questions regarding the child and to have a pediatrician review the referral information before you decide whether to accept the referral. Once you accept a referral, we will work with you to prepare as much as possible for the anticipated needs of this particular child. Spence-Chapin will also guide you in filing your next application with USCIS, which is called an I-800 application. In the I-800, you are seeking USCIS's approval of this particular child's match with your family. Once all of these documents have been obtained and the magistrate in South Africa who is assigned to your family's case has assigned your family a court date, your family is ready to travel to South Africa and meet your child. Families can expect to be in South Africa for 12 plus weeks. Families typically arrive in South Africa approximately 1 week before the legal court date, with families taking physical custody of the child 1 to 2 days after they arrive in South Africa. Johannesburg Child Welfare, or JCW, will be guiding your family throughout your time in South Africa and handling the specifics of your court date, as well as obtaining your child's passport and visa. Spence-Chapin will also serve as a support to your family during your time in South Africa via emails, WhatsApp messages, and video calls. All adoptions are full and final adoptions in the country of South Africa. Each state does have their own regulations regarding adoption refinalization, so once returning home, families should be sure to familiarize themselves with the required regulations in their home state. Throughout your adoption process, you will incur fees payable to Spence-Chapin, payable to JCW, and payable to other third-party providers, such as USCIS. You will additionally incur costs for your travel to South Africa. Spence-Chapin provides a detailed description of all such fees at the link on the screen.
Spence-Chapin is also able to offer families free financial coaching services through Your Adoption Finance Coach, an organization that aids families through the financial cost of adoption through assisting with identifying grants your family may be eligible for, employer reimbursement, as well as navigating the adoption tax credit, a credit that families who adopt internationally are eligible to receive. Once all of these documents have been obtained and the magistrate in South Africa who is assigned to your family's case has scheduled a court date, your family is ready to travel to South Africa and meet your child. Families can expect to be in South Africa anywhere between 5 to 10 weeks. Families typically arrive in South Africa approximately 1 week before the legal court date, with families taking physical custody of the child 1 to 2 days after they arrive in South Africa. Johannesburg Child Welfare, or JCW, will be guiding your family throughout your time in country and handling the specifics of your court date as well as obtaining your child's passport and visa. Spence-Chapin will also serve as support to your family during your travel period via emails, WhatsApp messages, and video calls. All adoptions are full and final adoptions in the country of South Africa. Each state does have their own regulations regarding adoption refinalization, so once returning home, families should be sure to familiarize themselves with the required regulations in their home state.